Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I guess there's been Nocturne. Hey, what's up, Butter? It is time. Correct. Welcome, Butter and Scott. Good to see you again, Scott. How's that new job going? I don't know who Tyler's account is. I haven't noticed anyone that seemed like they were a challenger that was destroying everybody. I don't know. I guess let's do Rakan anyways. Poppy is annoying as hell, but... What's his account name? I have played with him before on accident. His poor Rakan OTP. Well, yeah. Mammoth Man 47. I don't think so. What's he playing? Like what kinds of champs and which role? Bane's rough. Can we get a hyper, please? Just like Samira or something? Oh, she's banned. This guy's like, okay, Ezreal. Oh my god. One trick Urgot 41%. Come on, bro. Top jungle picks, man. Okay. I guess I'm not thrilled, but okay. I don't think so. He doesn't play at the same time, I don't think, usually, right? He does it like a daytime job, doesn't he? Mostly. Oh, you can hard carry as TF. What? I don't think TF is in an amazing spot right now, but I just overall in the meta. But I feel like you definitely can carry on TF if you're good. If you have enough experience on him. He's just the type of champ that it's kind of always going to be relevant, even though the items don't particularly favor him right now. And I did upload the support tier list, so I can put that up after this game.
Yeah, the Star Guardians looked a whole lot better. I was on the team.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Oh, he's back on 18-hour days. Hey, you can't say the man doesn't work for it, for his success. Like, he's one of the, like, he puts in more hours than anybody, just about, in terms of, like, raw gameplay and streaming. Regardless of what you think of him, he does put the time in. I mean, he streams... He plays League just as much or more than a lot of pro players do. Or so it seems. He's got a unique brand. I mean, he's tried to, you know... I don't know if he's still doing the Tyler 1 Championship or whatever. I don't remember if he did it last year or not, but those were great. Especially when he had his own custom commercials for, like, his own stuff. I wonder how much he makes off of, like, that supplement that he has. It's pretty brilliant marketing.
I'm way more fun now.
He does encourage people, maybe not to live healthy mentally, but maybe physically a little bit more. Like, he's made it, you know, cool to work out for, like, you know, people who watch video games, or he's tried to. So yeah, there's problems with his, you know, machismo aura at times, right? But he does encourage an active, healthy lifestyle, so that's good. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Give me 1 second. I didn't read all of your question there. I don't think I understood it all. I just heard the take on Smurfs in solo queue. Do you have a different take on them in pre-made stuff like Clash? Okay, you mean, you watched my video specifically on Smurfs? Is that what you're saying? I gotta wait on Vayne to tumble first. I don't remember what, like, were there specific points you were looking at? I mean, I think that, yeah, if it's something that's supposed to be matched competitively, then yeah, I don't think it's good in Clash. I can't remember what my exact take was, other than I think it can be good practice. But yeah, that's not really like a competitive place is not really a venue where you're supposed to be practicing, right? So I would not. Hey, thanks, I appreciate it. So I would not approve of it as much in something like that, because it's giving somebody a competitive advantage. Be like an LCS player, you know, playing in, you know, whatever, the development league or something. Or like an NBA pro player playing in a college basketball game. So yeah, when it's like the competitive integrity matters a lot. Or not I mean, a Clash is not like huge stakes, but yeah, I just would be less in favor of it in something like that. I still don't think it's amazing for the game in general. I don't remember exactly what my takes were, but I remember, like, you know, just structurally for content creators, it was good. I mean, that was a big one because it's just, it takes so long to get queue times if you're in Challenger, and just having a backup account so that you can dodge and get higher quality games just for anybody, I think is useful. It can be helpful for you to practice stuff, which can level out the playing field some, right? So like if I never play top lane and I want to try to learn top lane, it's not really fair to my teammates to try to do that at my current rank, right? Because I'm gonna get blown out because I never play top. So that might be a situation where it's actually more balanced if I play it at a lower level. I'm not saying, like, practice it down in iron or something, right? It depends on why you're smurfing and, like, what you're trying to do with it. Because I started off on my alt account doing that, for the most part. It turned into, at first, I was playing a lot of Cassiopeia. God, the resets. I lost XP to do that, but I think getting dragons important. Yeah, so it just depends. If you're going down there just to stomp, like, newer players to feel good about yourself or to ruin their day or something like that, I think that's obviously a little more dubious, right? But I think if you're trying to learn something different, or something else that came up is I was able to play with Jason. You know, one of my buddies, the Azir that I played with at the time, he was high silver, I think, maybe low gold. and I was Diamond 4 at the time, so I couldn't play with him. And so if you want to be able to play with your friends, I mean, yes, there's normals for that. But especially if you're trying to learn a new role or whatever, like, I think that it could be okay, you know? So I just don't think that it's like 100% smurfing is horrible for the game in all circumstances. But do the negatives outweigh the positives? Potentially. It just kind of depends. Probably for your average use cases, because there are a lot of people that just kind of get tired of their current elo. They're not climbing until they get, you know, they'll make a smurf just to kind of, you know, feel better. Which I can sympathize with, but that does kind of, you know, make it a little rough on other people. Having it so that you get more dodges per day is huge, though. Having alts so you can do that. It's pretty common in high elo for people to have multiple accounts specifically to dodge. Because dodging is one of the only ways you can control variance in the game. I know some high elo players like hate on dodges, but like, what do you do if 4 people on your team are auto-filled other than just lose most of the time, unless you're smurfing? Right? If you're on an equal skill level with everybody, some games are, it's just, you're going to be extremely unfavored through circumstances outside of your control, right? I mean, everybody knows that. So, that's why I think dodging to some extent can be a good idea, or is like a good concept. If you're going to have autofill, I think you have to have dodges. I'll put it that way. If there wasn't autofill, if everyone got the role they wanted all the time, maybe not, but... Hey, what's up, Dave? We can't ever really try to go on Vayne, because she just tumbles out of it, so... And I'm trying to be a bit more patient on Rakan, too. Like, I don't have to hard press. Like, he's not under a timer a lot of the times. Now, Vayne is kind of a timer, and so is Irelia, but... I think I was just trying to force too many things, and it just wasn't really matching the playstyle of this elo specifically. It could have just been flat out bad, but I think I was just being too aggressive, and ADCs in this bracket just don't follow up. It's possible it's too aggressive in any bracket, but... Buff Graves, please. Graves is so funny because he's, you know, they'll give him these little buffs that seem like they don't matter. Right, they'll give him like 2 AD, 3 AD, you know, and somehow he just like takes over. Buff Echo, God. No, he's fine. Echo's still just... I mean, at least he's pretty high skill cap. That champ just tilts me. It's just so much mobility, so much damage. But he does, like, his stuff is outplayable for the most part. Unless he gets so fed he can just, like, E onto you and Q you and you're dead. Yeah, me too, man. But I've been playing Final Fantasy Farmville. My fishing's level 45. I think my combat class, my Arcanist, is like 26, but my fishing's 45. Like my cooking's like 40. My botany's like 35 or 40. My mining's like 35 or 40. I'm leveling up like... Dude, the fishing actually is really good in Final Fantasy. There's like... There are some choices to make. They just do a good job of like adding in a little bit of skill expression to the crafting. If you're trying to get the good items, or you're trying to do it like... It's a nice mix. of like just sometimes just turbo farming garbage stuff just to grind, but then also giving you just enough variance in there to keep it interesting. Can we do this? I feel like, aren't 2 people dead? Isn't this is bad, right? It's a... Damn, they got that dragon too. Yeah. It's pretty fun. At times it can be a little, it can feel a little grindy, but I do like it. And if you level up all the jobs, like, it's a lot more intertwined. Like, they're gonna ask you, no matter what your job is, to go get these materials from other jobs. I haven't tried doing the retainer yet. I need to figure that out. Selling stuff on the auction house market board thing. She's gonna get away. She's probably gonna get away, right?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
No, I shouldn't have put it on that side.
Will soon fall.
Vayne could be, in theory, hanging out somewhere over here. I don't know.
Perfection doesn't exist, except for my hair.
Damn, she's down 50 CS. That's rough. Oh, that's funny. That is one of the greatest IPs from Japanese gaming, I think, is Final Fantasy. No way. Is this warded? Shit. Double sweep. I'm gonna see if I can get a fight here. I should have W'd away. Yeah, you're there, so why don't you fucking move when they're out of position?
Thanks, Riku. Real cool.
What the fuck, bro? I'm here watching you, man. I could have easily come up.
An ally has been slain.
When they were right here, I could have cut them off by going this way with Ezreal, but...
Darkness is the new hot.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
I only believe in myself. And Saya.
Oh, I don't know if I posted on Twitter. Not that it matters too much. I thought I could W away after the Vayne condemn as well. I don't remember why I couldn't. I guess I was just too late on it.
I do what I want. Star Guardians say the same.
Alright, Urgot's actually doing pretty well, despite the fact that I thought he was getting stomped early. Really?
I'm gonna go stare in the mirror. It's daily affirmation time. I dance to the beat. Leap into darkness. I embrace darkness.
Enemy killing spree. Shut down.
Boring.
An ally has been slain.
That's not good.
Used to be a square. Then I am
That's true.
what's that?
Everyone on the map's missing.
Universe tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
It's been known since 90s Blizzard. It's different people working there, man. Like, what? Right? Is there anybody still working at Blizzard that was original? I don't know. I think that's... I mean, maybe you're saying the culture or whatever, but that's such a broad term. I don't think that every person who's worked at Blizzard is, like, that kind of person. No fucking way! Oh my god.
Shut down.
That was my bad. That's twice I've thought that I could double W out of something, but these wall pins pin me anyways. Guess I'm just too slow on it. It's like mid-jump.
Has been slain.
That was just dumb, I guess.
I feel way more fun.
Nah, I don't think so. Hey, what's up, Juan? I mean, the W's annoying, but literally, you can get around it. You just E once, it triggers the W, and then you can E and W again. It doesn't, like, hard counter his entire kit. It's an annoyance. But it's literally all she does that matters. If you're playing properly. Obviously, that was just dumb. I screwed that up. Gyro bombers. Yeah, they can be good.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah.
Ally has been slain.
Poppy's just sitting on bottom. I need to try to get wards. It's hard to get wards, though, when she just literally sits here 24/7. Poppy's figured out the secret to life. The Holy Grail. Just sit on bottom.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't apologize for doing my thing.
I probably need to move my wards up to top side.
Perfection doesn't exist, except for my hair. Living the dream. The dream.
Shut down.
I am bad because I'm free, and I am free because I'm bad.
Well, and maybe if there's a special heat-seeking banner. They probably still don't work on sieges, though, I imagine, that well. They have less splash, too. In general. Like, they're designed to be used against larger targets. So I think they have higher base damage and probably higher armor-piercing damage, but... higher base, higher armor piercing, but lower splash radius and worse arc. Nichikari. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to generalize. I think that there would be some people. There are actually a decent number of females that, as far as like video game ratios go, that play MMOs more so than almost any other genre of game. So, how did they know I was there? Like, where's the ward? I literally just swept it all. So I don't know what the numbers are. It's probably like 20% at least are women. A lot of them don't type though because they don't want to be, you know, treated differently. So I don't know. There are probably some people, but yeah, like your hard sweat, you know, your stereotypical guy in his mom's basement type of deal is probably not going to care. Right, but there might be some, but I mean, I think that you could also, if there's a pending lawsuit for misconduct from a handful of people at a company, I think you can still not support that person's actions and still, like, buy products from the company. I don't think it has to be all or nothing, right? Like, I'm still going to play WoW, and it doesn't mean that I support sexual harassment or whatever. I just think it's a good game, and I, you know, believe in the legal system. If people did some fucked up stuff, like, that's why there are laws, that's why there are juries to investigate these things, and the legal system doesn't catch everything, obviously. And there are definitely problems with different components in the legal system, whether it's police or juries or judges or whatever, sentencing guidelines, but I don't know. I don't think just because there's misconduct in a very large company that everyone in the company is bad or that you have to boycott the whole company. Hopefully, I mean, a lot of times those people get fired, right? And that's a huge reason why companies fire them, because they want to make it clear that they don't support that kind of stuff as a company. Well, Chick-fil-A, I think, is a different sort of thing. Because that is a deliberate stance they have taken from the top down, from the CEO or whatever, all the way down to the bottom. That is the stance they have had the entire time. So I think that boycotting Chick-fil-A, if you don't believe in how they've treated LGBT and stuff like that, I think that would be justified. Because that's not a mistake, and that's not a handful of employees. That's a very, very specific set of policies that are very public that they're proud of, right? So that's different from a couple of what sounds like a handful of Blizzard employees, you know, doing some unscrupulous conduct and getting disciplined for it. In my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I could see someone boycotting Chick-fil-A over that type of stuff. I don't eat a lot of fast food anyway, so it doesn't really, like... my business doesn't matter anyways. I don't know. I don't know enough about the situation, Pobby. If it is a systemic thing, if the CEO was involved in it and they were cool with it and they're like owning it, saying we're not going to fire these employees, like they didn't do anything wrong, we support that kind of behavior. If it's something like that, then yes. I think that, you know, I'd have to review it. And I don't, you know, from a balance perspective and monetization perspective, I don't really like the direction that they've taken the company, like ethics aside. But I have not seen anything that's conclusive where the management is saying we support this behavior and this is good. So I don't know. It just depends. I honestly, I don't have enough. I have not paid enough attention to that stuff. I'm just saying that like any company that's big is gonna have bad apples. There's just gonna be people that work for companies that make bad decisions when you have thousands and thousands of employees. But like so it's not that they work for the company. It's what is the company sort of gonna like trying to do about it. I mean, it just depends on various levels of culpability, right? If they don't discipline people that have clearly done something wrong, and there's a large pattern of that, and they don't have any sort of training, and it was very conclusive there was wrongdoing. I mean, Graves chose to go bottom, so we have no chance at that Baron. Just horrible macro. Just gave up drag, just gave up Baron. I've got him muted, so maybe he's just like trolling. Did he want to surrender now? No, Urgot King did. Just like insanely bad macro. Maybe he's too busy typing.
Perfection doesn't exist, except for my hair.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to see it. I don't know enough. I try to like, before I pass judgment on stuff like that, you know, I'll try to read more about it and be more informed.
Living the dream. Forget my name, just call for the Lord of Darkness. Prince of Evil, the Emperor of Hotness. This place will look different when we're in charge, Riku. More dark matter?
Oh, Poseidon. Like, can we just not, like, bait the chat, man? We're trying to have, a decently reasonable discussion about something that is actually debatable. We're just like defending now, I guess. I don't know. It's starting to get really dangerous. They've got a Baron, they've got Aurelia's fully online. Rattling guns are very good against dwarves, yes. They're not very good if they get, you know, flanked. You have to focus them with your artillery. But yeah, I mean, Skaven are, like, just have better weapons teams and artillery than dwarves do. So I was saying, Skaven's a really, really hard matchup for dwarves. Because dwarves really doesn't have much of an answer to artillery plus weapons teams. Like, there's some, but you don't have... I mean, gyrocopters are about as close as it's going to get. Skaven are kind of a hard matchup for everybody, though. They're really strong. I wish LoL would add more pings. Yes, I agree. Fuck. I got punched.
You have been slain.
Most useless faction. What? They're the strongest faction in my... I don't know, man. The new Beastmen are actually, like... Map management wise, on Legendary, the new Beastman Lord with Tarox might actually be the strongest Legendary Lord for players on Legendary. But, Beastmen, or Skaven in general, I mean, they are my favorite faction, so I am biased, but I feel like they are the strongest faction.
Has destroyed an inhibitor.
Maybe not in, like, PvP. I'm not sure about that scene, but map management, I don't know. They're really good. Their stuff is cheap. They're versatile. They've got a lot of good map management stuff with their corruption and all that. And then, like, their weapons teams are just strong AF. Yeah, their infantry line is not as good as dwarves. It just depends on how well they're played, I think. Like, their units are individually appear weak, but it's like they have certain synergies with each other and with certain technologies and things like that that can be really strong. It's making me want to play some Skaven. Losing to Skaven slaves? I mean, they shouldn't. It's more than that. They're having a hard time probably hacking through all of the Skaven slaves, and they're getting tired because they wear really heavy armor. And then once they're out of vigor, then maybe the rest is just getting worked. I don't know if you're playing on Legendary either, but they get increases to their stats on Legendary. And like I was explaining the other day, increases to stats on things that have a very low base of stats is, like, extremely strong. Yeah, just waving through all their, or like wading through all their nonsense is gonna be tricky. I mean, Baron's up too. Should we just go get... Well, I guess we got one inhibitor. I guess we don't need to... I mean, I feel like baiting them to come check us at Baron is probably better than just YOLO sieging, but we do have triple ranged, or quad ranged, and they really, like, don't have good wave clear. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe there is systemic misconduct with Blizzard. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying I don't know enough to immediately say, like... Okay, we got it. Oof, that was tough, but... That would actually be really cool. I like that idea, Black Falcon. I mean, doing stuff in cities is fun, but I like the idea of, like, they can only use Undercities. Like a Horde faction that uses Undercities, which I think would be pretty cool. And that's kind of how, I'm trying to remember, sort of, I think the Chaos New Beastman guy goes, is like you can recruit some stuff from, like, their little tribes. You'd have to put a limitation on the Undercities, I think. I mean, they basically occupy ruins. It looks like ruins on the map. Like I mean, they did it pretty well lore-wise, I think. Where they occupy ruins, they're shadowy, you don't see them coming. I should have honored somebody. I just... Well... I know, but you were saying that before you read it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd be cool with making them Horde. There are a lot of factions that are Horde-like. I mean, basically, Sartosa is kind of like that, too. Where they have, like, the shipbuilding mechanic. And I think the Dark Elves are kind of like that, too. Like, that's just becoming a theme with, like, these mobile recruitment places. Which allows you to, you know, be more aggressive and take over more places. Because the traditional... You need to build a town up to level 4, you know, to start getting your elite units, is just encourages a more defensive playstyle. And it's a lot harder to kind of, you know, branch out and be more aggressive. It does make it more OP. I mean, I don't know. If you ever, like, if that lord ever dies and you lose all those buildings, it does make it more punishing. But it's just like the thing with those types of factions though is it's just a waste a lot of times to build recruitment buildings. You just basically get money and growth in your towns and public order. You don't even really need growth. I guess just money and public order. Raise Dead is kind of like that too. What's up, Lakers fan? Bite inflation. Well, you can say that, but let's not go too hard on the politics. I don't know if we need to censor immediately. I mean, yes, Black Falcon is correct that we try to avoid a lot of politics. If you just want to talk about inflation in general, we can do that. Has Biden even done anything that's inflationary? He hasn't. Has anything passed Congress that's like extra spending? His infrastructure plan hasn't even passed. I don't even think Biden's done anything in the last 6 months. Unless I've been under a rock, has he passed a major bill that increased spending? He caused COVID. I thought that was the Clintons. I thought that was the Clintons working with Verizon to develop the 5G technology to infect everybody in collusion with the Chinese lab. It wasn't a ban. I don't think it was a ban, Zach. It was a time. Or no, it wasn't even a time. It was just a deleted message. But yeah, let's give people a little bit of a longer rope than that. It wasn't. Black Falcon just removed the comment because he didn't want to stir something up. But no, honestly though, I don't think Biden's done anything, good or bad, right? Hey, what's up, Tiny? Right? I mean, he's had a push for vaccination, but they were already pushing for vaccinations. I think he's just been in chill mode. I mean, he's trying to get stuff passed. Maybe he did pass something. I just can't remember. I think it's fine. We can just drop it. I do think it was a bit fast on the deletion message, but I understand the sentiment. I don't disagree with the sentiment that, you know, we don't want it to get... And it was just like, it was seemed to be kind of a pointed mess. I mean, not like super offensive, but it seemed like it was one that was trying to stir stuff up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. I would not have deleted the message, but it's okay. But yeah, in all honesty, I don't think that I don't think Biden's done anything. I think there is some inflation right now for sure, but I think that that's been building for a while, and I don't think that's partisan, by the way. I think there have just been a lot. It's a combination of a lot of things. It is the tax breaks, and just that we haven't had enough revenue to support stuff for a little bit. But obviously, it's the pandemic relief package or something from last year, which maybe, you know, you could argue maybe that was a little overdone, but who, me? The only politics I permit is mine? Or are you talking to Scott or somebody? I think I'm pretty, like, fair to all sides. I don't know. I usually let people that want to, like, debate stuff on the right. I mean, like, John Mal is almost always comes down on the right side of issues. In terms of, like, politically right. But he's very reasonable. He makes good points about things. And I think there are others. Oh, Scott and Falcon. Yeah. We'll just drop it, though. I think it was, like I said, maybe a little quick on the trigger, but I think if someone had said something like, I don't know. You might be right. I mean, there definitely is, you know, some preferences somewhere in there, but it's fine. It was just a deleted message. Lakers can still talk if he wants, and I'm discussing his point, where I think it's fair that there is inflation, but I'm not entirely sure that Biden is causing a lot of it. You could argue he wants to do things that people could interpret as inflationary. Like, his political alignment is he wants to increase spending a lot. I don't know if I'm going to play anyone other than Rakan. I've been winning on him a lot, and I really need wins. And I've been losing on everything else. It's possible. I mean, I guess I could try Lulu out this game. They have a pretty spooky team. Lulu is good with Jinx. I mean, pretty much what Bradley says. So yes, I can agree. Hold on, let me see if I can. I can agree that the policies that Biden is trying to put in place would increase spending significantly in certain places, and that has the potential to cause inflation if it's not a balanced budget. But it's also important to recognize that our budget has not been balanced in a really long time, and we spent a shitload of money last year. We just printed the hell out of money, and I think any president would have done that. I don't necessarily think that's Trump's fault either. Well, I don't want to go all the way down there. I think that there could have been stuff where we could have, you know, done a better job of managing the situation where maybe it wouldn't have cost as much money. That's a debate. I don't necessarily think we have to open that. But any way that you cut it, we were spending a lot of money to deal with a huge ass problem last year. So I think that doesn't matter who was in office. there was going to be a lot of money going down. And I think that was the right play, regardless of your partisanship, because we just don't know. We haven't faced something like that in many generations. And so people just don't know. So I think it's better to overdo that and then figure it out later. It turns out, like, economically, at least for a lot of the corporations and stuff like that, they were okay. But anyways, so yeah, so I think there have been inflationary factors at play for a long time, whether it's tax stuff, whether it's spending, and I think that's happened from, you know, Bush to Obama to Trump to Biden. I think that there have just been increasing budgets for a really, really long time with really low interest rates and really low taxation on corporations. So we're spending a lot more than we're taking in. Means you got to print money. I think I'm just going to go relic here. Means you got to print money. Means eventually, in theory, there could be inflation. But yeah, let's not get too stirred up. I'm trying to be fair and reasonable about a lot of this, but inflation is just such a weird ass concept right now, because there is some inflation in some assets, but like the way they measure it is just not really good. Literally no one is sitting in the jungle on the bottom side. So like housing is up and food is up a little bit, but like the 10-year interest rates are down, loan rates are down a ton. So you have housing prices simultaneously at some of the highest prices of all time, but the rate on loans was the lowest rates of all time. Like our interest rate on this house was like 2.75, which is weird because usually when houses are at high prices, so are interest rates. So yeah, it's like the 10-year and loans and all that stuff is cheap as shit. So it's really easy to get money. But some hard assets are up, right? But oil is not. And that's another thing that's like historically, you know, tied with inflation. Thank God they're going for her because I don't have flash, so if he stuns me there, like, I'm probably dead. If he's... Skaven Lord, I would go with, Etiquette Claw. He has a workshop, which is really cool, and if you like the dwarves and like their artillery playstyle, he plays the best with that. I think he's the strongest one overall, but he also plays with that kind of artillery playstyle with lots of fun upgrades and stuff, so I think he's probably the best, and he's in a pretty good starting position too. The assassination guy is pretty cool too. I can't remember his name. That Clan Eshin guy on the corner of the map. He's got some fun schemes. They all play pretty differently. And his starting position is pretty good too. Yeah. Well, I don't even like minimum wage, but like it's just I don't know how far down that rabbit hole we want to go. Most places have to pay more than minimum wage anyways because people just won't work for it. Like, so many places just cannot hire right now. I honestly don't know how anyone works at the community college over here. That's not minimum wage, but it's less than minimum wage. For $1,200 a class. How the hell do they get anyone to do that? Like, adjuncts never get a lot, but like $2,100 a class. If you teach 4 classes at the community college here, which they're probably not going to give you a 4-4 teaching load, but if you taught 4 classes, you'd make less than $10,000 a year. You'd make $9,600 a year. you'd probably literally make more just staying home, like on welfare and food stamps. Sorry, I can't keep up with all the comments here. Looks like everyone's talking about stuff, so that's good. Seems like people are keeping it civil. Gas is up a little bit, but it's still down long term. Like, it's lower now than it was a decade ago. It's just really weird. Some asset prices are high and some are not.
An ally has been slain.
And a lot of that money that gets printed just ends up just getting filtered back into the stock market, basically. It doesn't actually go into spending on goods. Because, like, super wealthy people with a lot of money don't spend it on things other than, like, stocks a lot of times. So that's part of why there's just hasn't been a ton of inflation. Like, by official metrics. Now, if you look at the cost of medical care and, like, college tuition, which I think is something that's not looked at a lot in terms of inflation. Now, part of the inflation story, though, is low-interest loans actually people have figured out, create higher house prices, at least this day and age, because people can afford more house because they pay attention to their monthly payment, not the overall, like, price of the house. Also, there's this great migration away from expensive states towards cheaper states, like the South. But housing prices are going up in expensive places, too, like San Francisco and all those places, so...
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain.
Hey, yeah, if you want to do coaching, we can do that. %. I can't keep up with everything. Wait, who's an excellent support? What did I follow up on? What's up, Leo? Good to see you, buddy. What do you mean Brand fucked you? Come on, man. You're down 2 CS. You're the same level, probably, as Jarvan. How does she still get hit? The fuck? Is a great support. Pay money to play as Rat. It's in It's in Warhammer 2. If you have Warhammer 2... Wait, is Etiquette Claw might be DLC. I can't remember. If it's free, if you're... yeah, I forgot you don't have all the DLC. Yeah, Etiquette is DLC. Queek's free. If you have Warhammer 2, which I assume you do. Queek is still a good one. He's strong. He doesn't have like any like unique like mechanics about him. But he is a good lord. He also is part of the race for Carrick 8 Peaks, which is kind of a little fun side story. So I guess he has that going for him. You get special benefits if you get Carrick 8 Peaks. And you're racing against the dwarves for it, so that's kind of fun. Thrott's pretty cool. I mean, they're all good, with the exception of maybe the guy, like... Did someone just flash? Carrick 8 Queeks. Yeah. I'm gonna get some plates off of that, but I don't think there was a ton. I was trying to get close enough. She ended up flashing it anyways. I should have stayed more spread out. I don't think that cutting is necessarily like draconian cuts. I like the idea of just going after taxes more, like not necessarily raising taxes a lot. I do think corporate needs to go up a little bit. I think 28's perfectly reasonable, what Biden wants to do, because before then, under even Bush, right? So it's not a partisan thing. Even under Bush, you know, corporate taxes were 36, I think. And it was very, very prosperous under Bush. That was one of the most prosperous eras. Again, I'm trying not to be partisan. I'm trying to use him as an example because he was a very conservative Republican who had a corporate tax rate of 36, and it was a very prosperous era. Now, part of that was because of the rampant fraud in the housing market. But anyways, I think going to 28 is reasonable. And I think joining this allegiance to try to crack down on basically international tax fraud, and hiring more IRS stuff to investigate and audit more people that are committing tax fraud. I think that is enough to help. It's not going to fund everything, but that's enough to help. And then using better international diplomacy so that we don't have to deploy as many troops would also help. Lulu, what the hell, man? Why did you live? Bottlenecks by John Stossel. I don't know what that is.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I literally don't think there's... I used all of my spells. I had to stay max range or I was going to get blown up too. Etiquette, I think, is better. I think Etiquette is stronger than Throt. The monsters are kind of cool. You can get the monsters with Etiquette too. Like, there's no restrictions. It's just he specializes in the weapons teams, and I personally think those are the most fun. Like the snipers, the rattling guns. Lulu! What the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ. What is he even talking about? He's lucky I'm not like a little whiny child and that I don't just like AFK. It's like I literally have not made a large mistake this game. Brand is 1-3. And we're even in CS in the lane against a Brand. Like, Brand's supposed to hard dominate the lane. Like, what does he want? It's like I literally haven't died. I mean, I know, like, KDA's not everything, but, I mean, sure, there's a lot of stuff I could optimize, obviously. I'm in plat, but, like, nothing has happened to warrant, like, 20 clicks, you know, on me. The Brand is literally 1-3. Like, it's not like Brand's going off, like, killing everybody. And he's basically forfeited his lane. He just gave up the tower to Jinx bottom. We were behind in CS by 20 CS. I mean, they're right there. Oh, Brad wanted me to explain Lulu's kit. Okay, so basically her W polymorphs somebody, which is basically a stun, but they can still walk around. They just can't cast spells or do anything for like 2 seconds. It's 2.25 at max rank. The shield is like a 240 base with a 0.6 ratio, I think, that can shield allies or damage enemies. Her ultimate is a point-click, huge infusion of health. So it's like a heal, but it gets around grievous wounds. And you can overheal somebody with it on a low cooldown that also knocks people up. And then her Q is a pretty low damage slow, unless you put a lot of points into it. It's just like a very minor slow. Her W, instead of polymorphing the enemy, can also be cast on your ally to give them a huge movement speed increase. As well as a lot of extra attack speed. And her passive so everybody's like turbo inting. Woo-woo! Help, man! Get more abilities! Why do you only have 4 abilities? So like her strength, she's one of the best offensive buffers in the game. Because you can put your W on somebody to increase the attack speed, and then if you put the shield on them, it not only grants a shield that doesn't decay, that's also on an 8-second cooldown, but it gives them your passive, which right now is 72 extra damage per attack. It's not on hit, so you don't get extra procs with like Gensus and stuff, but every attack is 72 extra damage. So when she's giving you a lot of attack speed and a lot of extra attack damage, or like magic damage on your attacks, like she just sends champions like Kog'Maw, Jinx, anything that gets a lot of attack speed just through the roof in terms of their power level. Because she can protect them pretty well, but it's really that huge offense that she gives. Because, like, you know, 70 on-hit damage is like almost 1,500 gold worth of stats. It's so much. Lulu, why don't you have vision down, Lulu? What are you doing? Oh, wait a minute. You had 3 wards in the area. And I still got caught. Again. I would go Shirelia's first. And then after that, usually Ardent Censor. The Jinx really wants me to get Mikhail's, which is good against Ashe. She doesn't benefit as much from plus healing and shielding because her ult doesn't count as a heal. Alright. I mean, you just pretty much win. If you have any sort of hyperscaler, you just kind of win by default late game. And she can trade fairly well early. Obviously, she is kind of rough. I'm going to release the tier list after this game. I forgot to do it after last game. And I've had it for like a day. But I explain her a pretty decent chunk in the tier list because I had her as #1 overall pick. One of the Muppets. Oh my god, we had to carry this Lulu, dude. What the fuck? Why Lulu over Yuumi? They just have assassins and dive against like an immobile AD carry with Jinx. Like getting dunked, Jinx getting dunked with a Lulu inside of her is kind of rough. Yeah, I got Relic Shield because I thought the lane might be kind of rough against Brand, Ashe early. You don't really need the mana. So I just wanted to have guaranteed wards. Her ranges are very short though. Everything's like 500 or 600 range. See, I could just hang out in the back and just, like, spam all that crap on Jinx, and it's just GG. Like... Why is it harder to misclick with Janna than Lulu? Because Lulu's abilities can target enemies and allies. Okay. They can target enemies and allies. So, like, if your ADC is fighting in the middle of a minion wave or something like that, and you're trying to shield your ADC, you can accidentally click on a minion to shield the minion instead. Well, I guess that's not a great... Janna actually can't shield minions, so I guess that's a relevant example, but... Another example would be, like, if a Zed, or let's just say, like, a Cho'Gath is standing right on top of your ADC, right? Auto-attacking your ADC, and you're trying to shield them, you can accidentally, like, damage the Cho'Gath instead with your E instead of shielding. your ally, right? Or just as big is if you have an assassin. Let's say you have a Master Yi running at your ADC, and you're trying to polymorph Master Yi, but you accidentally give your ADC the extra movement speed buff instead, then they could die. So it's just really easy to misclick your shield to have it do the thing you don't want it to do, and the same thing with polymorph. Janna can shield towers. That is true. Can't shield minions. I think they took away her ability to shield minions. Because what people would do is they would like shield a tower shot off of a minion, like a cannon minion, so that it would make it more likely the enemy would miss it. It'd mess up their timings. Yumi was a mistake, just like anime. I mean, she's really good. I don't know. I think Lulu all around is probably better if played well. You can click on a teammate's icon, but you have to drag your mouse away from the action down to the, the like portraits, or I guess over to the upper left. I don't even remember where the portraits are, but you have to drag it somewhere else. I wish they would allow you to move the portraits just above like your bar, so you have your allies' portraits, so you can see their health, see everything else, and just have it on a little bar that's, you could just put it wherever you want. Like, why can't you drag stuff around in the interface? I don't understand what's hard about that in 2021. But like, I wish you could see their portraits there, so then you could just click and heal, and it'd be just a lot easier. You might be able to. I know you can get camera focus on people if you use the F keys. I have my F keys bound to different things. Yeah, he's only got like 8 ammo or something on that tack, but it's pretty good. Hey, what's up, Jonas? Yeah, I like that. Like WoW's thing where you can move around the raid frames and stuff like that. I think WoW isn't fully modular. There's some stuff. I know in Final Fantasy XIV it's really nice. I can drag around like item boxes, shop windows, and stuff like that if I want to. Yeah, he's got a Doom Wheel mount. And you can specialize in Doom Wheels too to make him do some cool stuff like shoot off lightning and things. You like Etiquette, man. I mean, if you can get around him just being a rat, I know you like dwarves, but like his gameplay is really pretty cool, and he's got some fun toys. Like I said, he's my favorite legendary lord. I think he's great. Okay, let me just, I'm just going to take 2 minutes. I'll still keep talking with the chat, but I'm just going to post up that tier list really quickly. I don't remember which tab it was under. That one? No, I need to close that, I think. So many tabs. Main's Twitch for 2 years. There you go. Nice. Is it this? No, that's an older... I thought maybe I accidentally closed the one that it was on. It's not that. Is it this? Whatever, we'll make it this. Okay. So I'm just putting in the metadata, and then I'll post up the support tier list. I'll put the timestamps on after, because that takes a little bit of extra time to do that. And obviously I want to get back into a game here in a second. But okay, we got a non-Rakan game in there, so that's good. Then I'll post a well, we'll just do that. We'll stick with this one for now. I was gonna say I can post a Total War, but after next game I could maybe post a Total War. Just the in-laws are in town, and we were just running around doing some stuff. We did some berry picking earlier in the day, which was cool. I'll just post it without a thumbnail for now. I'll design the thumbnail, and then I'll put the thumbnail in there with the timestamps after the stream. You get a basically a nuke too, a doom rocket. So you can have a certain amount of those in your army, and then just like drop it down, and it just blows the hell out of the enemy. It takes a little while to build those. They cost a decent amount of resources. I didn't use a lot of them, but it is a really cool thing. I don't know if you ever got nuked by Etiquette Claw, but it feels real bad. You have to always watch out if you're playing against Etiquette's faction. Yeah, I mean, I've done some of those before just to be funny, but there have been a lot of studies that show if you show your face, you don't have to do a stupid face like they do, but it just gets attention. But if you show someone's face, it adds a human element to it, and people just instinctively just respond better to content that feels humanized. So that's why almost everybody, who's a content creator has started, incorporating their face somewhere in the in their thumbnails or in their like channel logo and all that kind of stuff. Okay. I like to just put a picture of what the video is actually about often, like one of the top champions that I talk about. Yeah, so I started doing that to just kind of be funny for a little bit, but there is science behind it. But I agree, it feels clickbaity, but that is kind of the meta. Okay, so let's see. I would not get rid of the spellcaster, because with Etiquette, you want to get other skills other than your spells. And really, I think in vanilla, in the base game, the better spells are the plague spells anyways, so you still want to get a plague caster, the one that like summons rats, the one that can summon a ton of rats and has a really good vortex spell. I forgot what it's called. There's like, I think it's Lore of Plague and Lore of Ruin. The plague one's way better, so you want the plague guys. Eventually, it takes a little while to get them. I don't know. He does, like, the warlocks are pretty strong. I believe they're the only ones that can establish undercities as well as a hero. So you definitely want the warlocks. Or the engineer. I don't think you want a lot of spells on Etiquette. I can't remember. I've got several, at least like 2 playthroughs of him. You can like watch the first episode and I'll probably explain all the stuff, but no, I know he's not Plague. I'm saying eventually you want to get Plague. I think they're tier 3. It's not like a massive deal early, but your early goal is to get to tier 3 ASAP and then get that special building that he has that allows you to hire like the weapons team squad. The snipers specifically are really good. And then, was it snipers, rattling gun? And I thought there was one other one that I'm not remembering. Oh, and the warp thrower. If you like the flamethrower for dwarves, you're gonna love them as Skaven. You can get upgrades on them that make them even stronger, where you want to keep them around, and they're actually kind of fast. Not like super fast, but I think they move like 36 to 40 or something like that. So I think that the warp fire throwers are actually way better. You actually get drills too, which are pretty good. Drills are great for taking down walls and just really opening it up so that you can get more Skaven in there without having to wait on ladders and things. They're not ladders, but the siege towers. If you're stalking, yeah, unless it says that you're spotted, it'll have a little eye icon over your banner if you're spotted. Not on the spectrum. Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying to me as well. Oh, I can update Nightbot too. Since I haven't updated it in like 5 months. Zoldyck? Is that a weeb thing? Okay, there's that. Vagar? Wait, what the hell? Oh, it's Vagar ADC with Nautilus? Oh my god, real? Alright. Oh, we're going hard on the tenacity. Okay, let me... I can post the patch notes as well. Wait, I did post up the patch notes for this patch, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Didn't see him for a second. Okay, there we go. Well, the thing is, Etiquette is a caster lord, in quotes, but he's also really good at fighting. So, he's OP. Like, he's good at fighting. He has a good mount. He has insanely good skills, and the weapon shop are really good. He has like good spells, or like okay spells early on. He just happens to be able to cast like Warp Lightning or something. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just think of it as a bonus. Like, he still has a hell of a lot of armor, and he's got a halberd early. So he's very good against like large units, like lords on mounts, like Bretonnians, which is going to be one of the early places you're going to want to try to invade. So, hey, what's up, Fabian? What did Fabian say earlier? Or are you just apprising him that we were debating something? Okay. It's a purple building. You'll see what it is. It's a weird building that you can't usually get. It's a landmark building. Wait, are you doing it on Mortal Empires? Or are you doing it on just the Vortex campaign? Because he starts in very different places. I was talking about the Mortal Empires campaign where he gets like the Skaven capital. Skaven Blight is where he starts. I think he still gets it even on Vortex campaign. It's called like the Tractor Beam or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It's a purple landmark building. It gives you gold and allows you to hire weapons teams at tier 3 instead of tier 4. It gives like bonuses to the weapons teams, I think. It's like super strong. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then obviously the tier 5 stuff in Skaven Blight's extremely good. Okay, so Skaven Corruption is a mixed bag. It depends on what you're trying to do. It could be good, it could be bad. So the cleaner your property is, you get bonuses in public order if it's clean. So if it's not blighted, you get, I think it's up to like +8 or something public order. If it's dirty, then it can cause public order for other people. I don't remember if it causes attrition if people are on your property. It definitely doesn't if you haven't been discovered on that property, because that would give it away. But it can cause public order problems in adjacent properties, and maybe if they've discovered you, it creates attrition. I don't remember. But the big thing that it does is, the dirtier it is, you get free casts of Menace from Below, which are like summoned clan rats. So the more filth your place has, the tougher the public order is to manage, but you also get like extra combat effectiveness by being able to summon rats. Then you can spend some of your food as well to summon more Menace from Below if you need to. So you can really just swarm the shit out of people with that. It's great for flanking. Awesome against like artillery. Great on sieges. Just locking up archers or anything else ranged that's just really annoying. Yeah, he's right. I should have gone more aggressive there. I was too busy talking. I didn't realize we were that far ahead of him on the level 2, but obviously I should have realized that. So it's mixed, and I like it. Skaven has some of the most creative choices, too. I think the most, in terms of how you manage them on the map and which kinds of armies are viable. Because there's actually a lot of different things and ways you can play Skaven that are good. Most factions, it's like, there is a best way to play them, you know? Yes, the catapults and the artillery is probably optimal most of the time, but like, their monsters are still really good. Their infantry's like serviceable if you get the right upgrades on them. Yes, I believe that's provincial. The Menace. I gotta be careful. He could have caged me right there because I didn't have my jump. It's hard for me to trade a lot because I went Relic.
See? Boring. Let's start a fight. Evil never looked so hot. Enjoy your life while it lasts.
Buildings are super cheap too. Yeah, I'm alive.
Evil loves me.
There's some weird shit going on. I don't know where. Maybe he went back to get something. I don't know. He's losing a lot of CS. He could also just be waiting in this bush with their jungler.
I do what I
There he
want.
is.
No Starbucks.
Sort of. Half correct.
Ally has been slain.
Yeah, so their jungler's just sitting there for like a billion years. What the fuck?
You have been slain.
I thought they said they were revealing the scythe when he throws the scythe through walls and shit. I guess maybe he was in the bush instead of a wall. Like, well, he's in a bush, not in a wall, so we don't have to reveal the scythe. Technically.
I don't apologize for doing my thing.
Mal can't escape it. If he gets close enough, because he's untargetable. I mean, I had a ward, didn't I there? Or is that his ward? I didn't notice that Vagar had TP also. I should have noticed that. Yeah, Shin's 6. Their team's really annoying to deal with.
Living the dream. The dream of
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, sweet. Yay, Echo! When he's on my team. Actually. I don't have any mana, boys. Relic Shield meta.
forget my name, just call for the Lord of
Really? Oh, I guess he hit the dust down here. I'm like, who the hell sweeps that? Alright, we're gonna have to get mercs. We gotta respect it. Oh, I like how it spells it out here for people, just in case they don't know how tenacity works. Jarrett. Oh, did he cancel Shin's ult? I didn't notice that. I mentioned Shin and totally forgot about him. So yeah, that was pretty pimp. Yes, you get Menace with Corruption. It's really, I don't know what difficulty you're playing on. If you're... The Public Order probably doesn't even matter that much unless you're on Legendary. So you just always want it to be dirty. On Legendary, sometimes keeping it clean, so you can preserve some of the bonus is nice. Dude, what the hell, man? Why'd you get Mercs? Why'd you make me miss ranged minions on Ezreal? Why the hell did you just kill them all after I got hooked? What are you doing, dude? Why the hell didn't you KS me there? Since I missed everything. Doomwheel versus...
An enemy has been slain.
Hold on a second. Make sure I get the right stuff here. I guess I'll just go Ruby. Like, I kind of want to get the Control Ward, but Ruby Crystal's pretty important this early against this kind of lane. Doomwheel is tier 5, and it's just kind of a for fun unit. It's like okay. It's got some more magical properties to it. There are different upgrades. It shoots out lightning and stuff. The Doom Flayers are a more serious unit that is tier 4 and can really like shred the shit out of infantry, basically. Just destroy swords. Yeah, if I just had my ult there, it would have been nice, but... The hell is he? Is he really back? I mean, if you really work at it, it just requires a lot of micromanagement. It can probably be alright. I've really wanted it to be good. But there honestly are better choices. But it is fun. Like, one in an army, if you really want to micro it, to just maximize the lightning and stuff, can be pretty good. He doesn't have his ult, but he's still dead. Okay. Oof. That was close. That was almost too greedy.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I should have just used everything on the Nautilus. No, I was gonna feel real bad if they killed him and he didn't get anything. That would have been really, really bad. Oh shit. I need to buy, I'm rich. Is he just dead again? How much healing do they have? Blue Cane. Shen's getting... Oh. I don't have that much healing. I guess Mikhail's probably next. Yestruction. Yeah, that was like super greedy to use the W on the Rakan instead of the Nautilus. I mean, like, Veigar's not getting away anyways. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, just kill the Nautilus. So Yi gets the reset.
I only believe in myself.
We have a lot of carry options, and everyone else is hard dominating, so it's probably fine. Bezreal feeds a little bit. Obviously not ideal, but... Enemies building undercities under my city. Can I build an undercity under... No. You can't. You can only cleanse the undercities with detection. You can't undercity an undercity. Well, I mean... Okay, so... We're using different terms here. You can use an undercity on a Skaven actual town. That is a thing. But you cannot use the building, the Undercity or whatever it's called, with the bonuses and all that stuff. You can't do that. It has to be like an actual town. Blue Cane's coming. I think we're gonna be in trouble here, probably. Okay. I mean, it kind of is, but that would be a legit question. I try to take most questions at face value if they have any merit to them, and often even if they don't. Oh, it's Shen. Shit. I was like, why does he look so different? Who's that, the Ezreal? Dude, come on. It's like 3 towers to 0. We're up 2 dragons, 9 kills, and we've got a Master Yi with 2 items at 17 minutes. Time to surrender, boys. What a joke. Come on, bruh. Oh, sorry, Ricardo. Oh, nice. What's up, Fabian? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on all the comments. People have been talking a lot tonight, which is great. Congrats on the new kindergarten. I got 1 more year, and then my daughter's going to kindergarten, too. She seems excited about it, but she's excited about everything. She's a pretty positive girl. Of course, I mean, I guess when you're like 4, I assume most kids are probably positive. But that does look fun. Yeah, Tenacity works on everything except for, well, it doesn't work on knockups, and it doesn't work on suppressions. There aren't many, like, new suppressions. There's only a few in the game. It's like Malzahar. Just carry him out of the fight.
An enemy has been slain. Triple kill.
How much do you think you get out of watching your replays? I don't watch a ton, like, all the way through, but I imagine you can get quite a bit out of it. But part of that is I'm sort of, like, working through it and analyzing it as I'm playing it as well. I probably would get more out of it if I went back and watched. I do go back and watch some parts, but yeah, I mean, it just depends on how introspective you are and like what the reasons are why you're not climbing. Because sometimes people say like watch the replays, you can get a lot out of it, but I think that's true by default, but at the same time you also have to know what you're looking at. Like if you're making really obvious mistakes a lot, you know, it's good to notice that, but a lot of why people don't climb are just opportunities they don't take. So it's stuff that is not technically wrong, quote unquote, in the sense that like it's really easy to point out, okay, I screwed that up, right? It's more of like, okay, we should have done a Baron here, but we didn't when we got this ace. Or I should have been roaming more, but I didn't, right? So it's stuff that like you're not doing just as much as it's stuff that you are doing that's incorrect for the situation. So that, so it just depends on why you're not climbing. If it's just you just aren't sure what you're supposed to do, or is it just that you're making bad decisions in the heat of the moment? If you're just making bad decisions in the heat of the moment and you can identify them later, then you get a lot out of it. But if you're actually literally not sure what you're supposed to be doing, then it'll be less useful. It'll still be useful, but less useful. That's a place where you would want to watch guides or get coaching from someone. If you were like super serious about trying to climb. Do Skavens tend to fight each other? It depends. I don't think they are particularly fond of each other by default. Like elves are, to some extent. High elves. But because they have common enemies, then a lot of times you can get allegiances with them. Now, they have made it harder to confederate, but the biggest thing, if you can get a confederation, is how strong does the AI perceive your armies to be, right? So what rank are you on the strength meter? How strong is the person you're trying to confederate with? So if they're about to get wiped out, if they're really weak, then they're more likely to confederate with you. And then also, like, it looks at your diplomacy meter. Which the best way to build up a diplomacy meter is to have a military alliance, have common enemies, and kill a lot of those enemies. If you don't have the... You can also buy... Like, you can pay to get some diplomacy with people, too, in the short term. Yeah, confederations are OP. They did make it a lot harder to get them, too. But yeah, usually the Skaven, the major Skaven factions are pretty spread out, which is another thing that makes them fun to sort of replay different lords, because they're kind of everywhere, right? You've got the monster guy, Throt, in the very far north with the Norskins. You have Skaven Blight, which is like kind of right in Bretonia, right on the edge of Empire. Then you've got Queek, who's down, you know, in the desert area. Then you've got the Plague guy, who's in the jungle. and then you have just the random free LC Lord that's in the upper north with the Dark Elves. Civ 1 on a 386. Easy talking like he's fixing to pop off. I don't know, it's weird. I guess that's just thematically. Well, orcs are supposed to be kind of dumb, just straight fight all the time. Skaven are supposed to be sneaky. Like, they're smart. Like, at least the leadership is smart, but they are underhanded and sneaky. So I think, like, trading kind of makes more sense for them. Although, I think the greenskins should be able to trade in terms of, like... I guess they're just thought to be too stupid to trade. Just all fight, no think. Oh, sorry, I'm trying. Let's see. Fabian says, my boy isn't even 3. Wait. He's going to kindergarten now? Oh, whatever we call it in Freedom Land. Okay, so you mean daycare. Like preschool. In a classroom with other kids. Presumably learning stuff. The difference in America, at least between like kindergarten and any schooling before that, because it's all just like kids in a class learning stuff if they're in preschool, is that K through 12 is federally mandated. People have to go. And there are public schools that are basically free. If you're poor, they are free. That you can attend, or that you must attend. It's mandatory, and it's free. Or at least there are free options. There are private schools that are more expensive. Terrible. Yeah. Horrible game. I don't want to dwell on it too long. I don't think anyone said anything. I don't know. I muted Ezreal. He pinged me a couple times, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, was Ezreal still flaming me? I didn't even see. Did he say I was terrible? I was just like reading my chat, not their chat. It's hilarious. 2-1-18, terrible. The game before that, it was like 0-0-17. Dude, how am I supposed to do anything with this Rakan? He just handed me like 2 of my 3 kills on a silver platter after I got hooked by the Nautilus. But it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's the difference in America, is like preschool is not guaranteed. There have been a lot of programs to try to fund preschool, but preschool is actually like really, really expensive. Even just like normal preschool, not anything fancy. It's like about as much as a public university, at least in my state. So it's very expensive, preschool. And a lot of parents, you know, need preschool. Like, for their kid. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna dodge. I'm just gonna dodge. I thought we were on ban phase. I forgot I just banned a collie. Alright, we'll just go over to the other account. And multiplayer campaigns are bad. Nah, probably would. It'd have to be an extremely large donation. Because we would have to get on at the same time. It takes a long time to play Warhammer, and you'd have to get on at the same time. And then there's so much downtime, like you're waiting on the other person to do their turn to fight their battles, and it's just it's just not very good for content creation. It might be good just to like play with your neighbor or something, or just your buddy, to try it like once, but I feel like there's just a ton of downtime. Yeah, man, but it sounds good in theory, but it just would not make for good content, in my opinion. So like for a very large donation, I could do it, but It's just the scheduling is bad. I mean, I guess if you're doing like co-op and stuff like that, maybe, but it's just, yeah, $1,000, sure. I'll play whatever you want for $1,000, but um, but yeah, it's a lot of downtime, and you have to schedule it. You know, you have to be on at the same time doing stuff. It's like a raid, basically, which is tough to make those kinds of. I don't know. You'd have to throw a number at me. But scheduling that it'd just be a pain. I feel like. And I'd be sitting there like just hanging out. I mean, I guess I could just be talking for half of the episode or something. Especially if it's co-op, you know? If it was like versing another player, I think you can play co-op. I'm not sure. I don't even know. People have asked about multiplayer like when the game first came out. I think some content creators tried it. It's just really not designed very well for multiplayer. Or for, like, multiple campaign. I would say, like, the PvP multiplayer, even, like, solo queue is not that good. Like, the little tournaments are good. Vayne's fine top in solo queue and platinum solo queue. Yeah, I mean, then I would have to be talking about my decisions and what I'm doing on my turn, and then also waiting on someone else's turn. So then it would just be like, you know, 80% of not a lot going on. Cool. Everyone's talking about running it down. Fuck. Well, I was just gonna dodge anyways. Alright, back to the other one. There's like two people talking about running it down. I was just gonna try to bait a dodge, but I was gonna dodge it anyways. God, those 10-point dodges do, like, really hurt when you're only gaining 16, though, instead of 20. I don't think I've taken a 10-pointer in a long time. Those are both just 3-pointers. You should use your 3-point dodge every day. I don't a lot of the time these days, but you shouldn't use it frivolously like I did in that last game. To be honest, though, like, there aren't as many situations where it feels like it has to be a hard dodge that I've seen. Not as much as there used to be, so maybe the game is a little more balanced than it seems. You think Malphite's a free lane for Vayne? I mean, it is like pre-6, I guess. What does an average coaching session look like? Well, I've got a playlist of like 260. You can just watch a couple of them and fast forward if you want. But pretty much, you would just send me a replay. I've got some that I need to release too. But you send me a replay, and then I just, talk about everything that I see that I think are opportunities for improvement. So it just kind of depends. If you have something really particular you wanted me to pay attention to, then I could, focus in even more. But usually, just look on the main page. You can see there's a playlist with lots of coaching sessions on there. Just watch a few of those. Now, some of those are with people that have done a lot of coaching sessions on the channel before, so some of them I will, shortcut a couple of things with them. But, we'll talk about, laning, positioning and laning, usually mid-game decision-making, where you're rotating, if you're playing support, where you're warding, your items, your runes, just your overall play style. And, I really try to focus in. At the end, also, I have, like, a recap of, like, the top 3 to 5 things that I think you could do. So a lot more of it is just focused. Typically, most people who ask for replays are like kind of in the bronze to gold range. So a lot of times I focus on bigger picture stuff. So I'm not going to sit there and just dissect every single step you take in the laning phase. Like, oh, here, you should have been 50 units closer, and you could have landed one more auto attack here or there. Like, we talk a little bit about laning and mechanics, but it's mostly bigger picture stuff. So like, okay, you should have rotated here. I think your wards might have been more useful here and here. Maybe that was not a good fight to take because it was 4v5, so you should have waited another 10 seconds on your top laner to get there. That type of stuff. Sean. We do have a lot of damage, I guess. Obviously, the knock-up is really good with Samira and Yasuo. Yeah. Well, that'd be good. That's about the standard person that I coach, so. Within that range. I would start by focusing on Platinum, getting there first, and then trying to go to Diamond, because Platinum is no joke. Like, I know, like, maybe a joke to, like, challengers, but most people do not fly through Platinum. Even higher level people start slowing down a little bit in Platinum. Oh, come on. What was wrong with that? Both teams looked fine. Maybe the other team didn't want Akshan. Yeah, but Rakan's not a typical enchanter. He's engage. We also didn't really have good engage. And the knock-up is very good with 2 different people. Application for grad school, like $15. Usually I just charge like $15 if it's an hour or less for something like that. So looking at like cover letters, I could write up some comments and give you some advice about cover letters. Well, in Platinum, people start to think they're good. Like, that's the thing. So people, like, the thing about Platinum is I don't know. I don't know if this is always necessarily true, but I feel like the attitudes might be worse in general in Platinum than almost anywhere else because people just don't really see it. Like, people think they're good when they get there. They think they're already Diamond, basically, and that all their teammates are holding them back. Because there's no real reward to getting to Platinum. Like, when you get to Gold, it feels good. You're finally out of Silver. You get the skin for the end of the season. Feels good. When you get to Diamond, that's where people are like, okay, like, this person's good. You know, for the most part. They're not Challenger, but they're Diamond. And that's like the top, 1 or 2%. Very respectable. Right? But then Platinum is kind of like this weird place where it's like, still kind of in the disrespected zone. Once you get to Diamond, it's kind of in the respected zone. For the most part. I mean, obviously Challengers are going to talk trash about D4s, but, like, the vast majority of the population, I believe, perceives Diamonds to be, like, that's in the good zone. Right? But Platinum is still perceived to be kind of, like, in the bad zone. Like, that's the line in the sand most people draw. I don't think that's true. I mean, Platinum players, like, Platinum 1 is still, like, the top, whatever, 3% of players, right? But that's just how it's drawn. And so it feels bad to be in Platinum for a while because you don't get a new skin and you're so close to getting the goal. It feels like you're so close with Diamond. And then you just people just get really frustrated with their teammates. So that's just my, like, dirty assessment of Platinum. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but true for everybody, but I mean, that could be it too, where people just kind of give up and think they're not going to get to Diamond. That's usually in Diamond 4, I feel like it's even worse, because people are just like, I'm never going to get to Masters, but I'm in Diamond, and I think I'm good. Diamond 4 is like a huge, like, getting to Diamond 2 from Diamond 4 is a massive jump. But yeah, as far as writing goes, I do that kind of stuff all the time. I have my students do an activity with that, so I think I could help you out with applications, and I can give you advice on like how to approach that too. For your situation. So I can, like, email you advice, and then if you want me to give you a cover letter or, like, write comments for a cover letter or whatever, I can do that as well. I could even make, like, I don't know, like, research it and then just make, like, a 10-minute private video or something for you where I, starting to sound like OnlyFans, where I just, like, break down, I make, like, a little Google Doc or something for you and just break down, like, the top 5 things and just explain it to you what I think I would probably try to do there. That might be easier than, like, in writing. So I can show you stuff that I'm, like, seeing on my screen or whatever. That's a hell of a good deal. I should probably charge more than $15 for that, but, like, but, you know, if I can get it done in an hour, which I probably can, $15 an hour is pretty, I mean, that's, like, minimum wage in a lot of places, but, try to hook it up. Malachi support, God. Their team's really good. Rakan's not good in a Malachi support, but I just don't know what the hell else to play with Kaisa. Lulu wasn't banned. I guess I could have done Lulu, but okay, good. I'm glad someone else dodged. Yeah, because he just has that point click CC. He's really, really good against Rakan. I was going to get Mercs. I'm not sure if Legend Tenacity is worth it, honestly. Like, giving up... It just feels like it doesn't do that much early. It takes a long time to stack. And giving up Ghost Poro, which is 30 AP, plus Ulti Hunter is a lot. I think maybe just going for the 10% Tenacity off of that secondary rune, I forgot what it's called, that can go up to 30%, and then getting Mercs is probably good enough. Because if you're getting Mercs, you're already not getting Ionian, so you're losing 20 ability haste there. And then if you don't have Ulti Hunter, that's another, I think, 25 ability haste. You're losing 45 ability haste on a champion that, like, has one of the best ults in the game. Yeah, I just don't know what else I take into that comp. They had a really, really good comp. Ugh. I mean, Maokai's just really good in general. You might ask why I don't play him a lot. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should try him more. I've been winning a hell of a lot on Rakan, though, lately. Just going to Relic Shield and just trying to play better. I think we're like 7-1 or 8-1 on him over the last 2 or 3 days. Well... Okay, I am a later pick. Drowsy Girl. Oh, I need to do a poll. Is Drowsy Girl a girl or a guy? That sounds like such an internet creeper. Are you an actual girl? I could message her. It's the cringe eye roll. The stroke look. That's how people see it. Zach? I don't like that. Hard dive onto Twitch. And Zoe. Well, I'm not playing Yumi into that. I thought maybe there's a chance I'd play Yumi, but... Only guys who don't shower play Twitch. Okay, so they have like some turbo poke. No, it's not Alistar. I mean, Alistar's like okay into Zac, who would just get poked. We have no engage. It's probably just Rakan. You definitely do not want to play Nami into Zac. Something like Janna would be okay into Zac if they didn't have so much poke. They have this weird, like, dive and poke comp. Sort of. Like, Zac is dive, and then they have a lot of poke. So, like, traditional peel stuff like Janna that can be pretty good with Twitch, I feel is a little more problematic. I guess we'll go with bone plating, and then take an exhaust instead of heal. I guess maybe that makes sense against Varus, because Varus does have the healing reduction. He does have the healing reduction on his E. Huh. You like Pyke on this patch? We had to get run over by a Pyke a couple of days ago. I think we lost to that Pyke. I think that was the game we got blown out. Where, like, Ezreal died to... Did we come back and win? We've come back and won a lot of games in the last couple of days. But I think that was the one where we got just, like, ultra stomped. When Ezreal got, like, comboed by a Pyke. Like, 7 times in a row or something. Oops. Are we locked in? Okay. That reminds me, talking about that, I need to email my students that got an incomplete last semester. I gave a few out. I've been more generous with that, especially in COVID. Yeah, Graves, I've seen Graves in some solo lanes. I was skeptical about it, but it's worked out okay. He does have, like, some sustain. Just items are so expensive. Umbral. Isn't Umbral like 2,800 now? 2,900? When it was 2,400, I think that was really Pike. Well, Pike at his best was when he could go tank. I think he was even played in Pro a little bit. Like Frozen Heart Pike when he first came out. I don't remember what else he got. I just remember he had Frozen Heart. Because he was just so hard to kill and he had a lot of CC. I think that's an interesting angle on Pike. But they just didn't want that. Is it 2,600? Okay. Maybe they lowered the cost many patches ago and I just didn't pay attention. They need a support AD Mythic, and that would be a good candidate for it. I just hate the Mythic system, man. It just pigeonholes your options. It's supposed to expand options, or like offer more playstyles, but none of the items, very few of them actually change your playstyle as Mythics in a way that like normal items wouldn't, you know? It's like, ooh, he might take Stride Breaker instead of Gore Drinker. It's like, you're going to have the exact same playstyle. It's just different stats. It's like, oh, he might take Leandries instead of Ludens on a champion some games. It's like... That's when he exhausts. Jesus Christ. Why not exhaust the Pike when he misses his dash? Just Etiquette has Doom Rockets. Yeah, but it doesn't scale the same as Mythics do. And games are so fast, the scaling just really doesn't even matter that much. Fuck, I didn't even get the cannon experience. It's literally like 1 pixel away from it. If we had heal, that would have been a double kill. If he used his heal the same way Varus used his heal, we would have been able to turn it. Maybe not a double kill, but we would have been able to turn it. Exhaust versus heal was just night and day there. Or if he just exhausted early, like when we committed to the Pike and Pike had already used his dash, if he exhausted, he would have exhausted the hook damage and like 2 or 3 Pike autos. He was close enough to exhaust Pike. I could have also flashed the hook, I guess. I thought we were going to hard win that. After Pike missed. Missing that cannon really hurt.
Self-control is for starters. I choose fun.
Okay, so when he pinged he was going to gank, what did he actually mean? Okay, did we see Zach? Am I just blind? Did we see him and I just didn't see him? Twitch. It's okay to auto attack if I eat the hook, man.
Stars are sad, lonely light bulbs floating in space, revolving endlessly in a cycle they can't control. Anyone have chocolate? I'm craving chocolate.
I'll be right under.
World's gonna burn. Easy Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Graves did sort of live, which is good.
An ally has been slain.
Wonder if I'm supposed to go Mikhail's Rush here.
I am bad because I'm free and I am.
Hey, what's up, Tim? Not good recently, as far as like my actual rank. I think in the last few days we've been doing pretty well, and very early on in the season we did well, but yeah, not good overall.
Can't turn off the dark.
We've been hanging out in Platinum 4 for quite a while when we were Diamond last season, for most of the season. We got up to Platinum 1 really early on, and then we just kind of fell and
Forget my name. Just
hung out.
Lord of Darkness. Prince Abel, the Emperor.
But still enjoying it, still spinning wheels. I don't think I don't know. For me personally, I still enjoy the game, even if I'm not, climbing all the time. Which I think is sort of a necessity if you're gonna play, or if anyone's gonna play, because almost no player just constantly wins and goes up, you know? So I'm enjoying the game this season, but yeah, as far as like the actual rank hasn't been amazing. I guess I just haven't been playing streaming as much. I've been streaming like 3 hours instead of 4.
An ally has been
And then I've been just playing some other games too, so that's kind of haven't been watching as many pro games and guides and stuff like that. Wow.
Living the dream.
I think other people are just getting just good. And you know, like I said, I just haven't been like playing at my best for a lot of the season.
Used to be a square. Then I
So it's two sides of the same coin, right? A climb. Either, you know, I could be playing worse than usual, but it also could just be other people are playing better than usual. And I think it's more of the latter than the former. I think people in Platinum 4 are just way better than they used to be. In general. I mean, we see a lot of mistakes, but there are a lot of content creators that are down significantly this season. It's also harder to climb in general, just structurally this season, because you only gain 16 instead of 20. So, like, you have to win a hell of a lot more games. Dodges are way more punishing. And statistically, that's true, right? Like, Diamond right now, I think, is like the top 1% instead of the top 2%. And then Platinum is the top, like, 8% instead of the top 15%. So, definitely, like, this new system has pulled a lot of people down when they got rid of the promos. But yeah, I think there's probably several content creators that are just sort of at or below. You get any use from minutes from below if you don't buy any with food? Yeah, it'll tell you how many stacks you have. If it's a dirty... Dude, what the fuck? Where are you going? He like literally pings to go and just runs around in circles. Why would you try to flank his Karthus?
I do what I want. No Star Guardian can say the same.
I mean, I shouldn't have been hooked like that, but the only reason I even started to like open myself up was because Karthus.
An ally has been slain.
I am so far past redemption, I am in the fun zone. Population Rakan.
It wasn't even a one shot. Like, I was fighting him, and then Twitch was fighting him for like 10 seconds.
I only believe in myself.
If he actually tries to flank his Karthus, he potentially just gets blown up. Like, I don't know. And he didn't have his ult. Like, I don't know. I mean, I got messed up by getting hooked there. This is rough. I really don't like Karthus jungle in general. Well, I don't know. Blue Billsbury. I'll have to see like what's up with that. I haven't noticed anything. We were kind of talking about that the other day. I haven't really noticed anything that's like that far out of the ordinary. I feel like the range is tighter than it used to be. I mean, sometimes in Platinum 4, I've been paired as a Platinum 4 person in the past with a Silver 2. Now he uses it. But anyways, I don't know. But I think that it's difficult to argue that the plus 16 doesn't, it makes it slower to climb. Like, I still think you on average get matched in fair matches over time, but it takes more games or a higher percentage to climb than it used to. I guess we're just still gonna go Shrelia's, and then we'll see after that. I thought about getting Mikhail's against like Varus, Ult, and Zoe Bubble, but Shrelia's is just so good. They don't have that much healing. I guess they have Zac. Okay, Drowsy Girl's going off. Fuck. Triple kill. Fucking hell. Oh, Pike got the double kill. Damn, that was rough. Okay, well, I'll have to look at it. As long as it's not any of that winner's queue, loser's queue nonsense again.
When Zaya and I were abandoned on a desolate planet, I realized something. I don't like being alone.
Your team has
Spiky
destroyed
space
a
squids are the
turret.
worst.
Rattling guns and warp lock engineers. No, they're not the same. The engineers are like, there's a lord that's, you can get a lord that is similar to what's his name? Is similar to Etiquette. Now we're about to get roamed on. That's a pretty bad place for a ward, but yeah. Warplock Giselles. Well, there's a Warplock engineer, so you need a second word with that, but no, they're not the same. Giselles are snipers. Very long range, accurate snipers. Rattling guns are just like very inaccurate, like huge AoE damage that's much shorter range. How meaningful are the Flay nerfs? I mean, they brought him down like 1.5% win rate wise. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but maybe it is.
But it is less complicated.
Yes. If you have like 4 Giselles, if it's like open field, you can probably snipe out a lot of enemy lords or really put a hell of a lot of damage on them before they even get up to your line.
Good guys. We're just kidding.
Is he still S tier? Well, I released my tier list earlier tonight. I don't think so. Maybe in Pro, but I moved him down a little bit. So I did move him down. I moved him down to B tier, or whatever, tier 2. If S tier is tier 1, I think he's tier 2. For like silver to platinum solo queue. Fucking hell.
World's gonna burn.
Damn it, I was hoping I could get in there fast enough. I mean, yeah, if you play him like super well, if you're a Thresh one trick, you can definitely still make him work, but
Darkness need a break.
depends on how well you play it, the Skaven Greenskin matchup, but Skaven are probably favored. Depends on units and, you know, all that kind of stuff, but Skaven are probably favored, especially if you get an ambush or if you have Lightning Strike and you can neutralize their wall. As long as they don't overwhelm you with a ton of extra numbers or you don't just opt into a slugfest. If you just sit there with melee and just try to beat them with melee, you're probably going to lose. But if you have good artillery usage, good usage of your spells and stuff like that, you can probably beat them. I mean, Skaven are good pretty much against everybody. There are certain types of unit, like things that can be good into them, right? If you're facing like a doom stack of elves with like 10 dragons or something, that's likely going to be a problem. I mean, if you're going for the weapons teams, artillery stuff, really strong cavalry can be problematic, like heavily armored, like fast moving stuff, or if you get ambushed by like beastmen or something. I could see beastmen probably being the most problematic. I don't know how that didn't hit me, in all honesty. Are we all here? Karthus doesn't have his ult. Oh my god. What? Why would you stand there as Karthus when you know they have a Zac? Especially when your ult's not up, like, I don't know. Positioning's kind of sus. I think he doesn't understand you don't flank with Karthus. I'm just gonna have to back. Pike could execute me.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Really? That's all we got is Teemo? I mean, I was hoping Twitch would get more than that. Damn it, Teemo's actually getting a smart build too. Come on, man. Oh no, Banshee's Karthus. I guess maybe against Teemo Shrooms it's worth. That's such a huge hit in damage. Like against Bubbles and I guess against Zac it's pretty good, but You really, really want to see Demonic Embrace or like Void Staff or just something. Because Karthus, a huge part of Karthus is his ult being guaranteed like very heavy damage. But now it's just like gonna tickle him. He does have a lot of farm, so that's good. But they do have every dragon. I just feel like Karthus is just so bad in the meta right now. I feel like it's a very early game. Not even, I guess that's not necessarily true. Like, Diana and Viego scale super well. And they are really popular jungle picks, and Gwen. So maybe it isn't like an early hard dominant meta. Obviously Zen can do that, but I don't know. I feel like Karthus just takes too long, but it depends on situation. I probably wouldn't with Etiquette Claw. I would get the catapults. I would go in red to get catapults. I don't remember what the weapon team buffs are. If that's like a separate thing with like bombardiers. I don't even remember if the weapons teams have buffs. What are we getting? Just Mikhail's or Grievous? I guess just Mikhail's.
My cloak is woven from the whispers of starfields, the secrets of galaxies.
Yeah, I feel like he's just not good right now, but oh, and he's going Hourglass too? Dude. Get some gumption, man. It's just way too much utility. You gotta have damage. Those items are cute, but you're giving up so much damage. I know it looks like they have AP on them, but they don't have the effects, right? They don't have the burn of Demonic. They don't have the spell pen. He just, it's so much damage he's leaving off the table by building this nonsense. They might end up. Oh, the tech tree? Yeah, just get your way to the artillery stuff ASAP. Yeah, I would start with the upper left with the clan rats and Skaven stuff, giving them extra armor. And then through the mid tree that gives, well, you may not need the public order and stuff, but you basically, you have to go through that top tree. I can't remember. I don't think you have to go through the bottom to get to the artillery stuff. But yeah, you just want to get to the extra damage and ammunition on your artillery and weapons teams. It's like about it in the upper middle tree. It transitions out of the upper left. Come here, you piece of... What's doing all that damage to me? Just Teemo Shroom? Moonstone Senna? No. I think Moonstone is bad overall right now, and I definitely would not do it on Senna. You need to be hard pressuring early. I'm not sure exactly what the build is on her right now. Probably that... It's either that No, isn't it DS? Divine Sunder?
Whoa! I saw stars for a second. Some dark, evil-looking stars.
Damn it. We're gonna have to win another 5v5. Okay, Karthus still has his ult, though. How the hell did that happen? We gotta fight this. It's soul. It's soul. Okay. They have so much poke. Okay, nice. Is that ace? Nice. Alright. Get one tower. It's an ace, boys. They're literally not on the map. Why are you backing? I mean, I guess we get this tower without him anyways, and he gets to go, like, clear top. All we're probably going to get is one tower. I would not get Moonstone on anybody right now. Maybe something like a Soraka, but it just takes so long to come online.
Sometimes we agents of darkness need a break.
Serpents. I would either do like Umbral or DS. If you're going Grasp, the Frozen Fist thing. I think you should probably go for Glacial. Instead of Grasp, but I don't know. Honestly, I haven't kept up with her. But I think DS was what people were doing. Divine Sunder. I don't remember if that was with Grasp or the slow item. But definitely not Moonstone. I think she just gets outscaled too hard, and you know, the big thing about Moonstone, like where it would be useful, is if you have a bunch of other healing built into your kit, and she just doesn't have enough. It would be like Soraka would be one of the only people I would get Moonstone on right now. Karthus does not have his ult, so... Well, there's the Hourglass. Still dead. Twitch is really going off. I may need to just protect Twitch more. I wasted too much time with the Karthus. He was obviously going to die. I think you just go lock it on Tarek. I just think Moonstone is just really bad after the changes, unless you really leverage the extra 30% plus healing and shielding, which is basically Soraka. Maybe Sona. But even on those champs, if you look statistically, I would say Shirelia's is probably better. At least in, like, most cases. Moonstone AP Misfortune with Demonic Embrace. Because you gotta remember, the healing off of Moonstone is garbage. Like, it's really bad. Unless you have a lot of mythics, it's really bad. Like, the power in that item, they shifted it over to be plus healing and shielding. Because they did not want weird champions getting Moonstone, like Lilia. Which I don't think it was good on her to begin with, but I know LS was really talking about it. But they really, really, like, hard pushed it to be an enchanter item. Wow, they're just like turbo throwing. Muna, yeah, those are champs where it could be good, especially Sona, because she does put out so much healing and shielding. Twitch is really popping off. I just gotta maybe try to keep Twitch alive. I did get the Varus. Well... Engage. The higher the elo goes, the better engage and like tank type of characteristics get. Because it's a lot harder to establish vision. And if you play a tank as support, then it's just so spooky. Oh, was Pike? Okay, so Pike was there. Fuck, everyone else wasn't there though. Did Pike not die there for real? Oh my god. I guess he got pulled over the wall or something? How? Fuck, they're gonna get soul. You're gonna have to get Grievous next, I think. No, Garen does have Grievous. Wait, why did he just randomly ult? They're full health. Do I get the warding item? This game might go on long enough to make Grievous more valuable. At least, I at least want to get this. Just so we have a bit more Grievous. But yeah, I mean, a big part is vision. People can test your vision as you go up more and more and more, and it's just really hard as like Janna, you know, in the mid game to try to get vision if they clear out all your wards. We should have all just gone topside with me. They don't have that many tanks. Like, they've got Zac, but like maybe Earth doesn't matter because we're not really a poke comp. Earth matters a lot more against poke champs. Fuck. Forgot to had it on the wrong key. If I cleansed him there, maybe. Did we get? We basically traded. I think that was a dumb opener by Twitch, but if I had Mikhail's on the right key, if I was paying attention. We need Twitch. We need Twitch. Okay. So everybody, I'm gonna get like Teemo shroomed or some shit. Well, we already had Baron, unless you're talking about something earlier. Oh, you're saying pushing lanes with Baron. I thought you meant like try to go get Baron. Possibly. Well, yeah, you might be right, because we were so late to get there, they were already going to have position on us. I think if we all went in together, maybe we could. It's really hard to give up soul. But, I mean, maybe it just doesn't matter as much. Okay, I think we have time to get one tier 2. Shit. I really hope I don't get executed. Fuck! I'm gonna get run down so hard.
An ally has been slain.
God damn it. Karthus is like, oh, wolves is up, man! Sorry, bro, gotta get some wolves. So annoying. I should have just kept running this way. I was trying to cut down in case he was coming this way. I was going to cut and just like jump through here so I could get to Karthus for the jump. You can Michaela's yourself. Yeah, you always could. If it gives me that 150 health, do I get out of, like, execute range? Maybe, but... Mass Storm Vermin. Maybe. Usually Storm Vermin are not a very good investment. With Queek you can. They're a luxury. Like, obviously they're better than Clan Rats, but I would rather, if you have limited gold, if you're not just like ultra big ballin', I would spend it on artillery or like maybe even monsters. I spend a lot on artillery, and then I would just use Clan Rats. Clan Rats are really good, just efficient units. Because you don't, like, your infantry is not going to get a lot of your kills. It's going to be, like, your magic and your machinery, basically, is going to get the majority of your kills. Wow. Alright, we win. Well, yeah. You can't, like, Doom Rockets are cute, but most fights you probably won't need them. They're great on sieges. When everyone's like all balled up at the portcullis. I mean, the Doom Rocket strategy, if you want to do that, like Clan Molder would be good with that. But I guess you can't get Doom Rockets with Clan Molder, but like getting like just big monsters like the Hell Pit Abomination, or just like any kind of AoE magic like that, whether it's Doom Rockets or a huge Vortex spell or whatever. If you want to do that, you need to just put single entity things in there that are very difficult to kill. So like a Doom, maybe a Doom Wheel, or Hell Pit Abominations, maybe a hero that's decked out, something like that. You run all that up there, and then you wait until everyone like clumps around it, and then you drop a Doom Rocket on that. Because it doesn't do an insane amount of damage to single entities. It probably does like, I don't know, 1,000 damage. But it's when it's all of those grouped up, that's when it does a lot. So it's not going to like one-shot a Lord. I don't remember how much damage it does specifically, but a lot of those types of things are like really good if you can use single entity units and they have massed infantry, and then you do your AoE. That's when it's usually pretty good. Okay, I think, let me see how many we have. I think that's probably going to be it for tonight. Let me see. Yeah, we're at 33. So we had a pretty active chat. About average, maybe slightly lower than average concurrent viewers. But it's been cool to see a lot of people that I don't think we've seen in a while, or that have been lurking for a while, like Nichikari and Tim and you know, so everybody. I think Tiny was in there as well. So that's been pretty fun. Fabian. So good to see everybody. Yeah, I think Lulu can win. It depends on how low. ADCs may not know how to play around her, but like, there's not anything really special you have to do. They just attack a lot, and you just make them bigger. The thing is, like, Lulu's pretty good with like bruisers too, like your Garens and your Dariuses and stuff like that, because she can speed them up and then ult. Oh, I was just saying it was good to see you again. I don't think we've seen you in a while, or have you just been working? Or maybe I'm just not paying attention. My memory can be pretty bad. Probably the second playthrough if you're looking at Etiquette. Is that presumably I learned more off the first one, and there may have been some balance changes. One of them might be with SFO as well, so I don't remember if any of them are with SFO, but make sure it's vanilla. I mean, I can look really quick statistically, but I don't really see a big problem with like why Lulu wouldn't work. That's kind of a myth in my mind. Like, what are we talking, like silver? That's kind of a myth in my mind that enchanters aren't good in lower elo. A lot of times they have a just as high or a higher win rate in lower elo than they do in higher elo. But yeah, I mean, the mages, I always say this, mages get a lot better. Like, the lower you go, the mages get better because games go a little bit longer. People just die a ton. It's just a bloodbath, so you get a lot of gold anyways, so you can afford the items, and people just don't respect your damage early game, and you can get just a lot of free kills. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, just, I mean, anytime you're feeling it, just come check me out. We're usually on at least by midnight or 12:30. I aim for 11:30, but some days I'm late. And you can follow me on Twitter as well. I've been announcing on Twitter at the Strat Prof, the Strategy Professor. I've been trying to announce every time I stream or release a video. And then I'm trying to post it up as a YouTube post. So I don't know how those show up or like what that even does, but I'm trying to post that too. Oh, a 12-hour shift, man. That's rough. Hopefully we made it a little more interesting for you. Let me see though. I mean, her win rate's not insane even in like platinum because a lot of people just don't play her super well. So she is a little bit lower. She's about 2% lower. But I think it can still be done. Florida man. Are you in Florida or is that just like a meme? I know that's a meme, but I think, wasn't there a, I don't remember what I'm thinking of. I think I've seen Florida man somewhere, like Florida man and something crazy happens or whatever. But anyways, Florida's like its own little thing. It's kind of the South, but it's kind of like not, I guess it depends on like North Florida versus like Miami. Might be a different vibe. I don't really know. There's a subreddit for it. I'll have to check it out. But anyways, okay. Well, that's going to be it. Thank y'all very much. Check out that support tier list if you're interested. I should be able to do an ADC tier list. No, I'm not in Florida. I'm in Tennessee. So I am in like the South, but not that far south. So be sure to check that out. I will have an ADC tier list out for you hopefully tomorrow, and I'll try to see if I can bring you some more content soon. And we'll be back around 11:30 or 12 tomorrow. We'll see if we can keep it going. I mean, we've been winning a lot lately. We won, I think we're like 1-0 on the other account. I've been playing on the main account recently, but yeah, we're 9-1. So we're basically 10-1. Kind of quietly 10-1 over the last 2 or 3 days. So maybe we got our groove back. Maybe we can get back to Diamond here in the next couple of days. I feel like I've been playing a lot better. The Relic Shield has made a huge difference. And just trying to play a little more conservatively and going just Shirelia's literally every game. Just don't even goof around with other stuff. And then the secondary items, having a little flexibility, but that Putrefier is kind of the way to go, I think, in a lot of situations. So anyways, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and we'll